What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we have my most requested video I have ever had to make. A lot has happened in the last week, including the Area 51 raid, and look what we picked up, because we may be needing it. I don't know what this is, but in the future we may have to use this. Look, there's some kind of computer, some hoses that don't do much, and then I don't even know. But also, PPEI released their statement saying they will no longer write or sell non-emissions compliant tuning for diesel trucks, and now they will only write tunes for trucks with the DEF and DPF systems intact. What the EPA recognized is, I mean, clearly they knew a lot of people take their new model diesel trucks and they will remove the emission systems, they will tune them, which is 100% so much better for the trucks. These new factory emission systems kill these trucks horribly, and pretty much take the exhaust, put it back into the engine, double burn it, send it through the exhaust burns it, shoots DEF into the exhaust during that process. All of that pretty much converts the exhaust to, I don't even know what gas, but it's pretty much clean burning. When in turn it's not clean burning, the diesel truck is still burning like a diesel truck, but the exhaust system kind of converts it to clean burning. However, between the motor and the exhaust pipe, both systems need to break down and remove its own exhaust. It's pretty much like you eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and when it's time to go to the bathroom, your body has already eaten its own waste, and you're pretty much letting out clean air. Short and simple. But the whole diesel truck thing isn't my worry. We knew this was coming. We already knew these laws were in place. These laws are nothing new. Everyone's like, what's your opinion on not being allowed to delete diesel trucks anymore? In reality, technically, it's the law. You're not allowed to remove these factory emission systems from these trucks for a multitude of reasons. But from what I understand, the EPA is pretty much self-funded, so they find ways to make money. Therefore, companies like PPEI, Flo-Pro, these exhaust companies, these tuning companies, they'll sue them for not following their laws, so they make a lot of money, and that's pretty much what they do. So when they sit there and they now enforce these laws, all these companies don't want to deal with the lawsuits. So what's going to end up happening, in my opinion, is we're going to get down to all these companies abiding by these rules. The EPA, being self-funded, is going to end up running out of money at some point down the road. We don't know. What I'm more worried about in the near future is, after the whole diesel thing clears up, what are they going to start targeting? Because they're going to need more and more money. Cars like this. If you look at my window sticker on this car, which is, I find, completely hilarious, I have never seen this on a vehicle. The EPA and Department of Transportation, Fuel Economy and Environment. Fuel Economy and Greenhouse Gas Rating. Tailpipe only. It literally says 10 is the best. 2. It's a 2 on that scale. Smog rating? 1. So, what my thing is, put the diesel truck thing aside, they're going to start targeting gasoline vehicles too. And target vehicles like this. So like I said, the whole Hellcat, high horsepower, whatever motor thing, this is also going to come to an end. These cars like these will not be in production long, because the EPA will try to find a way to cancel these vehicles out too, because the emissions are so high, when in reality, I don't know, like I said, us car enthusiasts, motor heads, stuff like that, gear heads, this is fun to us. From an environmentalist side, don't worry about the plastic in the rivers. Don't worry about the people dumping oil in lakes. Don't worry about all the mining for batteries. Don't worry about disposing of materials like that either. Don't worry about that. Worry about exhaust pipes. Just worry about the exhaust coming out of vehicles. Diesel exhaust, which I made a video a long time ago, and people were all up in arms. Diesel exhaust is better for the environment than that. If you don't believe me, look up the facts. And here's the problem with diesel exhaust. It is worse for humans than that. Particulate matter in that, obviously you stick your head in a diesel exhaust pipe, you inhale, that particulate matter gets all up in your chest, in your lungs, just like inhaling anything besides air. It sits there and causes problems. And cancer and all this stuff, yes, that can occur from the particulate matter that comes out of a diesel exhaust. Simple fact, don't inhale diesel exhaust. But the reason why diesel exhaust is better for the environment, because it is heavy. When you roll coal, the soot, it sure goes up in the air. Ooh. But it eventually finds its way back to the ground. It's just like go outside, take a handful of flour, throw it up in the air. Sure, the cloud will blow away in the wind, but that flour will eventually land somewhere. Same thing with diesel exhaust. But what is my take on this? Am I upset? I'm gonna be honest, not really. We're coming to an age here where it's just new technology. Like I said, you know what? I understand. I'm not say I'm not worried about it. Not say I don't care about it. Deleting diesel trucks was never legal. Somewhere along the line, I'm getting a bunch of comments that people think deleting a diesel truck is legal. Just like all emissions laws, if you took the catalytic converters off your car, that's not legal either. Punching out the cats to solve problems, also not legal. People remove and alter these systems to help their trucks run better, perform better, and stay clean and last longer. And they don't like that. They don't like that no one's following their rules, so they went out there and enforced. It's easier, it's so much, for the EPA, it's easier to cut off a handful of suppliers than try and take it up with millions of offenders. That's why they're doing what they're doing, and to be honest, there's still companies out there offering deleted tunes. It's just PPEI right now. Will the other companies follow? I would assume so. I could not imagine these companies lasting much longer. What I think will happen is there will be somebody from these companies. You say something's illegal, there's always ways to get it. There's always ways to make whatever you want happen. So I would assume some people or somebody from these companies through the grapevine in the back end will slide out of one of these companies, keep the tunes, write them, do that. They can sell them on the side, sell them in a black market, sell them from a new company. Like I said, people, I'm going to tell you right now, people who have deleted their trucks will, to make a lot of money, they will put the factory emissions back on, take their tuner, take their exhaust, sell it for a premium. They will, because you can't get it anymore. And here's the thing, there's millions of offenders, and there's also millions of more people who want to offend that rule. They won't be able to access these products anymore. However, there's millions of people who already have these products. Unfortunately, some of these tunes are in fact VIN locked. That is a fact. But for the tunes that aren't VIN locked, for the tuners that aren't VIN locked, and all of that, you have a market there. Also, for the trucks that have been altered in this way, all of a sudden are now in demand. So people could be paying a premium for these vehicles. People are already like, oh, people in Cali and Texas, their people are cracking down already. That's a whole, yes, it is possible. I have seen a ticket, but people are just jumping on the bandwagon. And just because it's popular right now, saying stuff, throwing stuff in people's ears, just like all the way back then when the U.S. election was going on and all those people were protesting. Half these time people didn't know what they're protesting for, just because it was common, just because people causing riots was in style. That's what people did. So, you know, just following trends and following that is what people like. They love to do it. They love the attention. They love the public eye on them. So that's what they're going to say. They're going to do, think that it's cool. So, like I said, if your truck happens to be without emissions, most of the time you do in fact live in a non-emissions or non-vehicle inspection state/area. That's how you would simply get away with that. However, like I said, there's always loopholes in every law. Don't forget that. And people will figure it out and people will make things happen. They say people will always find a way. Whether you're Joe Schmo and you do it in your backyard, or you're some big company that's sliding in under the radar from across seas, in a different, like, this is only a US thing. Canada and Mexico, you're absolutely fine. What would you, if you have deleted your truck, why have you done it? And was it for sound, smell, and or horsepower? And horsepower most of the time is because of somebody hasn't written a tune with the emissions on for that. So I feel like we could still get same horsepower out of diesel trucks, but with the emissions intact. I do personally feel that PPEI is definitely going to figure that out. They're definitely going to figure out a bunch of emissions compliant parts, just like now I know banks and all of them have done air intakes that are emission compliant, things like that. People will probably start getting like for Rams, I know the intake horn has a flap in it and stuff. They're gonna figure out what and what doesn't pass emissions testing, and can I remove this? Can the tunes be written with this missing, with this on? Can we do a whole bunch of crap to the motor and the exhaust still be fine? Can we put 150 over injectors in there and the exhaust still pump and just clean out just fine? Will it happen? Who knows? There's a lot of testing that needs to be done. It's a whole new world. I would not personally worry about it as much as some people are. They're freaking out. And to be honest, I definitely considered buying a 5th gen. You know, get just everything new, everything brand new. I definitely decided buying a 5th gen, getting everything brand new, unmodded, stock, and when all this new emissions compliant testing and tunes come out, you know, run it like that. I have thought about that. I mean, yes, this is a awesome truck. Yes, it's a manual. But at the same time, I'm like, you know what? Even with that new law coming out, this is kind of all old technology, all the new stuff. I just feel like a whole new platform would be cool. Still thinking about it, but I love this truck, don't get me wrong. But at the same time, if you're asking my opinion on it, not worried. It's a new world. You're just gonna have to roll with it. It'll be fine. We'll all be fine. We're all living. We're still breathing. We're still having a good time. Everything will now alter around emissions compliant horsepower, from motor to trans, and all that. Everything will be based on that. And maybe down the road, like everyone says, high flow DPFs and SCRs and stuff. That may be something that these exhaust companies start working on, between tuning companies and exhaust companies. That is probably what will happen next. And by high flow, it's probably more, I don't even know how to do it, but they'll make it happen. Shoot more DEF into the thing. I don't know. They'll figure it out. I'm not an engineer. I'm not the guy to figure that out. If you're thinking about buying a diesel, still buy a diesel. It is an awesome platform. It really, honestly is. Since my first diesel, I will probably always own a diesel. If you want to buy an old one, don't look into problems. I mean, look into all the problems for those model years. New diesels are definitely torque and horsepower monsters. If you're still looking to buy a diesel, I would. They definitely hold their value longer, and on top of that, gas trucks, gas heavy duty trucks are honest dogs. They use fuel like crazy. I'll have to do a comparison one day, but so if you're looking to buy a diesel, still buy one. Tides have just turned a little bit, and you're going to actually have to comply to the laws now, even though people haven't for years. So that's the only thing, guys, but diesel trucks are awesome. More worried about what they're headed for next. Alright, hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. Sad, but also inspiring and bright news. But hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you haven't been here before, please get down and click subscribe. If you enjoyed this video, shoot a thumbs up. Take care, and I will see you guys in the next video.